Hi everyone, and welcome to Lake Oswego United Church of Christ. My name is Adam Erickson, and today I'm going to talk with you about one of the passages we're going to be discussing this Sunday, May 7th, here at church. It's Jesus the Good Shepherd. It's Good Shepherd Sunday. The passage comes from John chapter 10, verses 1 through 10. And hey, what makes Jesus the Good Shepherd? This is the question that's behind this text. Well, what makes for bad shepherds or not so good shepherds? Well, one of the things that's happening in this passage is that a lot of the sheep are being killed or excluded. They're being sacrificed. And this story, John chapter 10, is an explanation of what happens in John chapter 9. And what happens in that chapter is that there's a man who was born blind, and he's treated as an outcast of their society. And so nobody wants to go around him because they treat him as if he's a sinner, as if he's done something bad, and so he deserves to be on the outside of their culture. And Jesus comes in and he heals the man. But more importantly, Jesus invites the man into a new community. I mean, this is the real miracle of the story, is that a man who was on the outside of the community is now invited into a new community of love and compassion for all people. And so that's what's happening in John chapter 9. And Jesus tells a story and calls himself the Good Shepherd here in John chapter 10. Well, one way to look at this is to say, well, if Jesus is the Good Shepherd and he invites people into a new community, he invites his sheep into a new community where no sheep is sacrificed, no sheep is excluded, but everyone is invited into this community of love. What is the opposite of that? What is a bad shepherd? Well, living as a bad shepherd is seen as sacrificing people, is seen as excluding people from a community of love. It's a way of knowing that I am good because that person over there is a sinner, or that person over there is bad. And so we end up pointing the fingers against other people and start blaming them for being on the outside of, or on the outskirts of a community, of being marginalized. But Jesus comes and tries to transform the way that we create a sense of identity over and against someone else. So no longer can we sacrifice others. Instead, we live a way like the Good Shepherd, where all people are included in a community of love. So I was thinking, amidst our families, we could talk about where we see this dynamic happening in our schools and in our culture, maybe in our workplace. Who are the people who are out on the margins that our culture tends to demonize or sacrifice or exclude? Is it the poor? Is it the immigrants who are trying to find a better life in our society? Is it people of different races or economic status? Is it the kid at the school that everybody has labeled as a nerd? And what can we do in our lives to follow the Good Shepherd in trying to include these people into our lives, into a new relationships that are based on love and hospitality, not on hatred and exclusion? So those are some of my thoughts about Good Shepherd Sunday, John chapter 10. I hope you can join us this Sunday, May 7th, as we discuss this passage more here at Lake Oswego United Church of Christ. Until then, grace and peace be with you. Bye-bye.